Most of us have played with a flashlight in a dark room, making shapes with our hands to bring a shadow puppet to life. This simple bedroom trick is actually the exact same mechanism behind one of the most spectacular events in nature. You just need to scale it up. The sun is our flashlight, and the earth and the moon are the puppets. But there is a catch. Our sun is a massive, blazing star, and the moon is just a relatively tiny rock. It shouldn't be physically possible for something so small to completely block the light from something so huge. This diagram shows us why it works. The sun is about 400 times wider than the moon. However, the sun also happens to be exactly 400 times further away from the Earth than the moon is. Because of that precise size-to-distance ratio, if you stand on Earth and look up, both of those celestial bodies appear to be the exact same size in the sky. That optical illusion is what makes an eclipse possible. A solar eclipse happens when the moon's orbit carries it between Earth and the sun. The moon blocks the sunlight, casting its shadow down onto our planet. The center of this shadow, the umbra, is a dark cone where the sun is hidden completely. Standing in this area, you experience a total eclipse. Wrapping around that dark core is the penumbra, a larger shadow where the moon hides only a portion of the sun. This is where viewers see a partial eclipse. For those inside the umbra, the sky turns as dark as night in the middle of the day. With the bright disk of the sun fully blocked, you can suddenly see the corona, the sun's wispy, glowing outer atmosphere, stretching out into space. But even when the sun is mostly covered, looking at it directly exposes your eyes to intense, harmful UV rays. You must always use specialized protective eclipse glasses to watch safely. Because that dark umbra is relatively narrow, it only traces a thin line across the globe as the Earth rotates. That is why catching a total solar eclipse from your own backyard is such a rare event. Now let's flip the arrangement. A lunar eclipse happens at night, when the Earth moves directly between the sun and the moon. Our planet is much larger, so it casts a massive shadow that easily swallows the entire lunar surface. With Earth blocking all direct sunlight from hitting the moon, you would expect it to simply vanish into the dark night sky. Instead, our atmosphere acts like a lens. It bends sunlight into the dark shadow, but as that light skims the edge of the planet, the air scatters and filters out the blue colors. Only the long red and orange wavelengths make it through. This filtered light lands on the lunar surface, causing the moon to glow in deep, rusty colors. This striking sight is what people call a blood moon. When you see this reddish glow, you are actually looking at the reflection of every single sunrise and sunset on Earth, projected onto the face of the moon all at once. Since the moon makes a full lap around the Earth every month, it seems like we should be seeing these shadows every few weeks. The reason we don't is because the moon does not travel on a perfectly flat path. Its orbit is actually tilted by about 5 degrees. Because of that slight angle, the full moon usually glides just a bit too high or just a bit too low, missing the shadow entirely and continuing its orbit normally. For an eclipse to happen, the timing has to be perfect. The Earth, sun, and moon must arrive at the exact intersection where these tilted paths cross. That precise three-dimensional alignment is why these events are so rare. Even when you understand the mechanics, it is easy to mix the two types of eclipses up when you're trying to describe them. There is a simple way to tell them apart. The name tells you exactly which object in the sky is fading from view. In a solar eclipse, solar refers to the sun. That is the moment the sun is hidden by the moon's shadow and the daytime sky turns dark. In a lunar eclipse, lunar refers to the moon. That is the moment the moon is hidden by the Earth's shadow and turns that deep coppery red. Eclipses happen somewhere on Earth every year. You can find an astronomy calendar online to see exactly when the next shadow will be visible from your own backyard. Ancient cultures once saw these shifts as terrifying magic, but today we can appreciate them for what they really are: the beautiful, predictable clockwork of our solar system.